measuring the importance and size of the task, and then determining how much time it will take to complete it well, always seems to find Mia deciding to spend more time than might be warranted, because only then can she be assured of a stellar result. True to form, Mia began her senior project well in advance of the deadline for proposals. In fact, her idea began hatching on a trip over a year ago. Look at her website. Look at the financial results of her fundraising. An astonishing $7,000 sum to have raised. And you can only laud her organizational, creative, and sales acumen. Her Valentine's Day Arbor Sale was a terrific example of that marketing skill in action. With its focus on gifting buddies with laces while raising funds for her cause, the event was surrounded by Mia's packaging rewards and well-designed pop-up store in the portico. But for the most remarkable part of Mia's entire endeavor is the way in which she recovered and refocused after a deeply disillusioning discovery. Such an event could not be met with Mia's signature planfulness alone. Rather, it took her core of determination and her unwavering commitment to doing good by doing what is right. I vote for Mia to run any campaign meant to change the world. Mia Simmons.
Just about every single person in this room has graduated 8th grade. Now, I know that you all have different lives, different backgrounds, different stories. Maybe you were a jock, a cheerleader, a nerd, a rebel, an outcast. But I am sure that every single one of you has tried to fit in at some point. Maybe you even changed your character, your brand, who you were, to be cool. Each of you has a story about growing up and finding yourself in middle school. This is my story. 1st grade. Lori hands me and 2 of my friends, Sophia and Lauren, a poem titled We Are Three. She tells us that we will be memorizing and reciting this poem for the entire school at assembly. I was struck with anxiety. What if I mess up? What if I forget the words? What if the whole school laughs at me? What if? But I got up in front of this room with my 2 friends, and we crushed the poem. Lori, you taught me that we could get over our fears. You taught me that we could get over anything, that our voices could be heard, that we could crush it. You stood by me from my first till my last day at Arbor, and you have given me my voice. Thank you, Lori. This was the beginning of my Arbor career. These were the first days of many with these people who I, years later, would be standing on this very stage, graduating with. But most of all, this was the beginning of my journey of finding who I am. This was my starting line. 2nd grade, the year where my love for business began. I sold tote bags or Mimi bags for my independent project to raise funds for the Arbor Library. After presenting this to my class, Peter sent me a letter saying, "This allowed you to do good by doing well. That is a wonderful business model." And since then, I've carried this with me through my senior project of selling shoelaces and supporting the kids in Cambodia. Your words inspired me. Thank you, Peter. Summer before 6th grade. I walk into the wood shop, terrified of the giant blades, saws, machines. But Greg tells me that by the end of the week, I would use the chop saw. There was no way that was going to happen. But, of course, he was right, and it was awesome. And from that moment, I found myself in the wood shop many more times, having conquered my fears. Greg, you have taught me that we could crush anything, whether it's using the chop saw or competing in math counts. The Intel auditorium was filled with intense boys, but there's nothing cooler than you rolling in with your cargo shorts, sunglasses, and the only team dominated by smart, confident girls. You have empowered me. Thank you, Greg. 6th grade. I walk in a seminar full of big kids, worried and curious. But Leela Sickinger, an 8th grader, reached out to me and made that seminar the most fun part of my Arbor career. Leela, you taught me that it's cool to reach out, to have fun, to relax, to be yourself. It wouldn't have been purely awesome without you. And Kara, you have taught me that I don't need to put pressure on myself to succeed. That moment that we sat on the hill together in Canida, I realized that you don't always have to get to the top to enjoy the sunrise. You have lifted me, understood me, read me, and now I'm walking out a more confident and strong person. You will always be one of my awesome things. Thank you, Leela, Kara, and Karanar, for creating such a comfortable environment and hysterical memories. 7th grade, Karanar came to an end, but Semenageur just began. The next 2 years were filled with even more laughs and memories, and I will miss you guys so much next year. Never forget that Kermit is a better name, and word whips will never be good. 8th grade. At the very beginning of this year, Linus gave our class advice about how to be good 8th graders. The first thing he said was to transcend cool. But what would have that meant to you when you were in 8th grade? In my final year at Arbor, this is what I've learned. It means working hard to ace the vocab test to get a sticker, or better yet, to ace the math test to get a biohazard sticker. It means singing songs proudly with your school, even if that means pumping your fists along with Drunken Sailor. It means getting up in front of the school to perform the Kaylee dance and high-fiving kids as they walk back to their buddy families. It means teamwork, community, effort, engagement, and simply being yourself. Thank you, Linus. At Arbor, you don't need to try to fit in. At Arbor, you don't need to try to be cool. At Arbor, you are treated like an individual, and that's what makes you cool. No one has to change their characters, their brands, who they are, because at Arbor, it's cool to be your own person, not a walking label. Ilsa, my little buddy, you are still at the beginning of your Arbor career. You have this entire journey of finding who you are ahead of you. You are at your starting line, so make the best of your Arbor years and learn from your friends, your teachers, your peers. You have made buddy families the best part of my Fridays, and I can't wait to see how cool you become. Mom, Dad, and all of my family, I know you know this, but I can't begin to explain how much you have supported me this whole time. You inspire me daily and never fail to stand by my side. By providing me countless opportunities and teaching me countless unforgettable lessons, I wouldn't be graduating without you. Thank you so much, and I love you. Zach, my little brother. Thanks for always encouraging me. You've always been my biggest fan. I can't believe I won't see your positive spirit each morning in carpool or around the halls. I'll miss your hysterical moods and sometimes funny jokes. Make sure to cherish the next couple of years here. It's a pretty awesome place. Never forget who you are or where you came from. Kit, none of this would have been possible without you. Thank you for creating such an amazing opportunity for everyone here. Being an individual is a rare value, and it's incredible that you hold that close to you. I will never forget all of these lessons I've learned and experiences I've had. And my class, thank you for standing by my side. You're some of the coolest people I've ever met. You're athletes, dancers, authors, horse riders, musicians, artists, mathematicians, sailors, movie makers, and squash players. Next year, we will all be individuals stepping in different directions. We won't have the comfort of this entire group supporting each other as we've had growing up at Arbor. However, we'll be just fine, because we leave here with our own voices. We leave here inspired. We leave here empowered. We leave here with confidence, and we leave here having transcended cool. This is our finish line, and this is us dropping the mic.